continue to monitor over the next couple hours. Otherwise, north of I-10, this is where our thunderstorms have exploded because we didn't see much activity really early in the morning. So right now, 45 northbound, Aldine into Spring this morning, and this takes you right into Willis. So all along 45 northbound, we are seeing some pretty heavy rain. When you see the pockets of red there on our radar, that's indicating even at times blinding rain. So you're going to really have to slow down. Areas south of I-10, again, a broad view anywhere from Chambers County, portions of southern Harris County, Brazoria, Matagorda County. The yellow indicating some moderate showers, but notice not a lot of lightning. That's because we saw the strongest thunderstorms in Fort Bend and Wharton County around 3:30 to about 5 a.m. this morning. If you are in Sugar Land, Richmond, Rosenberg, even portions of Katy, you know what I'm talking about. You had a lot of lightning, big booms of thunder out there, but it was just really, really early, almost our overnight hours. Now what we're tracking is some of the heavier downpours here. Again, areas north of town. So from Jersey Village, we've actually seen a decent amount of rainfall along 290 from Cypress to Jersey Village, working its way in town. You may have noticed that early this morning, it's still lingering throughout the area. So overall throughout the area, we do have a flash flood watch that's in effect until Sunday morning. We have had, even throughout the whole morning, we've only had one flash flood warning issued, and now is it for extreme portions of western Montgomery County, portions of Waller County, and Grimes County. So in this kind of quadrant right here is where we have that flash flood warning in effect until 9 o'clock. So we will continue to monitor. I do have a feeling that some of these advisories will kind of pop in and out throughout the day, and then we'll probably see this happen again for tomorrow. This aerial flood advisory for portions much of Montgomery County, it's a great indication. That's an area we'll kind of keep our eye out on for any high water spots. But here's the overall picture. Our flash flood watch took effect this morning at 4 a.m. It's going to expire Sunday at 7 a.m. I think the highest threat for these high water spots will happen today and tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm not expecting as the thunderstorm threat will be low, but it's just going to be any additional rain that we see in addition to today could create those high water spots. Also, what's been nice, even though we've seen some really heavy rainfall this morning, because we've been in this drought scenario, we're about 6 inches below average as far as rainfall goes for this time of the year. So all the grounds have really soaked in a lot of this rain, and that's why we're not tracking a ton of high water spots right now. We will continue to monitor that through your lunchtime hour. That could change, but we had a few reports here, areas in northern Waller County, and then portions once we got into near Huntsville and Livingston earlier this morning. And that's because take a look at some of these rain accumulations. Now this is radar estimates, but this is such the difference here. Just taking this over the past 3 hours, we have plenty of reports over 2 inches of rain, upwards of 40, even 6 inches of rain. So we'll have to get the real reports later. That'll come in, that data will come in from the National Weather Service. I don't know what's going on with this graphic. Come on, day part planner. But when we get those reports, of course, we'll let you know. So those were radar estimates of how much rain we've already seen this morning. For today, for your Friday, we have an 80% chance for these scattered storms, scattered showers up until about lunchtime. And then our rain chances are going to continue to drop throughout the day. If you haven't seen this, a 50% chance trending through your afternoon, a 30% chance 5 p.m. and through this evening. So even looking at the severe weather risk with these thunderstorms, notice it's mainly just flood. Now, some of them could produce some gusty, quick winds, but it's mainly an isolated street flooding event. I'm not expecting area-wide a flood threat, but I am expecting isolated spots. So in addition to what we've already seen, let's talk about through this evening. We could be picking up another inch to an inch and a half. I think that'll be isolated, but notice a lot of these 4/10, 6/10, 4/10. So that's saying in addition to what we've seen this morning, we could pick up another half to an inch of rain. I think that's just about right if we don't see any training involved. And then once we head into Saturday evening, notice this is when we pick up another 1 to 2 inches of rain. So by Sunday morning, I think there are going to be some decent size 5 and 6 inch rainfall accumulations, including today, tomorrow, and overnight into Sunday. And then it'll basically be out of here for that flash flood threat. Overnight tonight into Saturday, tomorrow, we will see a little bit of a break. So I think some of this water will recede, but then we'll start picking up some of these rounds of rain, some of these impulses for your Saturday. So 6:30 in the morning, an isolated thunderstorm to scattered showers will be possible, and then maybe it'll stop. And then some of those showers will kind of kick back in. So Saturday is going to be on and off, scattered showers to an isolated thunderstorm. just for Saturday alone, probably picking up 1 to maximum 2 inches of rain. So because of the water that we're seeing today, that will lead to the high water spots. I'm not expecting anything more than 5 or we're not expecting that for tomorrow. Tomorrow should be more widespread 1 to 2 inches of rain, manageable rain. It's just in addition to what we're seeing today, that could create a few high water spots. By Sunday morning, rain is starting to shift out of here, and by lunchtime Sunday, I think really the rain will be out. Then it'll be all about this big ridge of high pressure that's building in for the start of next week. We are going to go from the rain threat today and tomorrow to 90. Are you ready for that? 90 degrees next week as we get a little bit closer to Cinco de Mayo. If you're just joining us now, I know, again, a lot of you are streaming this live. Let me break it down, what's going on. Let me show you the live look at the radar. It's 8:13 now. So you just got the 7-day. Here's a live look at the radar. So area wide, we are tracking light to moderate showers. Some of the red, again, areas north of I-10 indicating the heaviest rain. And then here are our advisories, mainly from Montgomery, Grimes, and Waller County. I show you this from Victoria to Corpus Christi and the thunderstorm. So this complex here, these thunderstorms offshore, because this is what's going to continue to try to swing this way. This is all being pushed in by an upper level low, and that's why we get this counterclockwise rotation. So I want to say rounds of rain, but the heaviest rain is probably falling now. As far as your thunderstorm threat, once you get thunderstorms that kind of work an area over, it's hard for those thunderstorms to build back. You have to have a little heating. I don't think that's going to happen. So these thunderstorms are going to kind of rain themselves out across the area, and then it'll just be light to moderate showers that we can expect throughout the afternoon. But if you're in Spring, Atascocita, Humble, near Aldine, the northern Harris County, North Houston, this is where it's raining the heaviest right now. So if you're watching right now and it is pouring outside your window, yes, we understand. Then I-10 eastbound, even into Mount Bellevue, take a look at all that red on the radar, now into southern Liberty County, which Liberty County, you didn't see a whole lot of rain overnight. That is now changing. South of I-10, the best thing that happened around about 5:15 this morning, we had a thunderstorm complex from Montgomery and Brazoria County that I was really starting to worry about. It was kind of sitting over some of the same area. It lifted into Fort Bend and Wharton County, which created some really heavy rain for portions of Sugar Land, Richmond, Rosenberg earlier. But now notice we've had some good breaks. So now it's light to moderate rain, all rain that we can handle. We have had no flash flood warnings south of I-10. We have only had one flash flood warning, and that was for Montgomery County that was issued just about an hour and a half ago, and it continues until 9. So even though from Hunters Creek, Bel Air, portions of West KHOU into downtown Houston, these are all areas that did see some really heavy rain. So far, so good, though. We haven't had reports in these areas of any high water spots, and again, no warnings to tell you about. So that's really good news. It's also saying how dry we were, that we can take a good 2 to 3 inch chunk of rain a quick period of time, and actually everything is handling. Our drains are cooperating, the grounds are soaking it in. That's just how dry we were. So now we'll continue to monitor areas north of town. Of course, if we continue to get any high water spots, if we hear reports of that, we are letting you know on Facebook, on Twitter, on social media. Of course, we'll let you know when we can on television. So this flash flood watch continues through Sunday morning at 7 a.m. It did start this morning at 4. And I think this is still right. 1 to 3 inches of rain with isolated amounts between 4 to 8 inches by Sunday morning. So that's taking today's totals, tomorrow's totals. Some of you by Sunday morning are going to say, I only picked up about 1.5 inches of rain. That's today and tomorrow combined. I think there will be isolated spots, though, that could pick upwards of 8 inches of rain, especially if you take what we saw this morning and you combine that as what we're going to see tomorrow. So keep your guard up for high water spots. That will be the primary threat with this rain, but hopefully you don't have to worry about it, because we've been talking about this drought scenario, and because we've been so dry, when we see these radar estimates of how much rain we've seen this morning, you see these big 4-inch chunks, 6 inches there just north of Huntsville, even through portions of Fort Bend County, 4 inches. Again, the roadways have been able to handle it for the most part. Now, in your specific neighborhood, if you have poor drainage somewhere, if you know an area that quickly gets high water spots, then that may be an issue. You just keep your guard up, know that that's an issue. But overall, I mean, look at this. We're looking good here. Across portions of 610, everybody's moving slow. But it always is, isn't it, across this area? And cloudy, and notice the showers. So we're still going to be looking, and I think this is how much of today and tomorrow will play out. Just going to be kind of a couple messy days. We do need the rain, beneficial rain. As long as we can kind of keep it how we've been looking at it with our timeline, hopefully everything will cooperate. Everything will do what it's supposed to do. The drains, it'll be able to recede overnight. Notice the rain chances, how they'll drop by the afternoon. Temperature-wise, we stay in the 70s throughout the day. We don't have a tornado or a hail risk with these thunderstorms. It's primarily the flash flood, so isolated high water spots and maybe some strong gusty winds. But that's it. As far as additional rainfall, a quick 1/2 to 1.5 inches of rain even today is possible, and about 1 inch to maybe upwards of 2 inches of rain, I think, on the high side for tomorrow, and that will give us those accumulations by Sunday of isolated spots between 4 to 8 inches of rain. I think majority of you will see about 1 to 3 inches of rain. So the forecast still looks like it's going to play out. We'll just have to monitor how quickly some of this rain starts to move back in for Saturday. So even though our rain chances taper off by the afternoon today, overnight for your Saturday, count on and off scattered showers, cloudy skies, an isolated thunderstorm or two, and then that'll take you through your Saturday evening and into Sunday. So if you did have any plans Saturday, just know, kind of like what we're tracking here this morning, that will be possible right through your Saturday night plans. Midday Sunday, rain is out of here. And then once we get the rain out of here, we're going to go from the 70s, climbing back into the 80s on Sunday. And then you're going to maybe want that rain back when we're pushing 90 degrees for the start of next week. True Houston fashion, just keeping it. We keep it busy around here in the weather department. Today, keep your guard up for those high water spots. Otherwise, just drive slow. Be extra precautious out on the roadways. You know how to handle the rain. And of course, we will continue to monitor for any high water spots. We'll continue to let you know. All right, more on air and more online coming up in a little bit.